Hello and welcome to the live chat session, Kashish Live Chats. Another session, very important today because we'll be speaking with Sayani Gupta, the beautiful actress whom you have all seen in many films and web series and television shows. So we're going to be joining with Sayani Gupta very soon. My name is Sridhar Rangayan. I'm the festival director of Kashish Mumbai International Queer Film Festival, and we'll be celebrating our 12th edition from August 19th to September 5th. So please join us there. The information about attending the film festival is basically on our website mumbaiqueerfest.com. But please follow our Kashish Film Fest Instagram handle so that you can stay tuned for all the updates leading up to the festival. The festival was supposed to be held in May 20th, but we have rescheduled it considering the challenging circumstances all of us are in because of the COVID pandemic. We are mindful of the situation around, and we wanted to make sure that everybody is safe and everybody is going to be healthy and happy when we bring Kashish 2021 to all of you. But we have a fantastic lineup of 200 plus films. So Sayani is joining. So just wait for her to join. This is fantastic. I'm really excited to be talking with Sayani. Hi Sayani, how are you?
Hi,
It's a
how are you?
Can you please join again? I don't think that worked out because of the connection, which didn't work out per se. So, Sayani, if you can just join again, we have a fantastic set of people who are going to be here. So, I'm trying to look at Sayani. I don't know. Yeah. So, Sayani, you need to rejoin again. Uh, So lots of fans of Sayani Gupta here. So happy to welcome all of you to this Kashish Live Chat with Sayani Gupta, the brilliant actress, whom we are particularly going to be talking about Margarita With A Straw, where she played the role of Khanum. But she's going to join us in a minute right now. So stay on, guys, and please follow Kashish Film Fest Instagram handle so that we can stay updated about all these wonderful live chat we are doing with Kashish, with the celebrities, actors, and also basically the community leaders of LGBTQ community. So please stay with us right now. Sayani will be joining in a minute. Uh, I just hope that she's going to join soon. Sayani, can you send a message again to us so that I can invite you back? So as I was saying, Kashish 2021 has been rescheduled to August 19th to September 5th, considering the current pandemic situation. We wanted everybody to be safe and uh, so we wanted everybody to be safe and healthy and happy before we bring you the main Kashish Film Festival. And we're going to be showing around 200 plus films from 50 plus countries. So that's going to be an exciting offer on hand. But that has to wait till uh, so I'm just looking for Sayani right now. not able to find Sayani right now in my messages here. Can she log off and log in again? I don't know. Yeah, but I'm already on my data right now, so that's fine. So everything is working fine here from my side. But waiting for Sayani to maybe join again and send me the uh, join request again, because I'm not able to see her join request right now on my screen. So yeah, we should start the live to get a fresh. Yeah, so Sayani wants to say something. Sent again. Okay, going live with Sayani right now. She's here in the house. So thank you to Sayani for joining in. So people are already appreciating you.
Hi.
Hi, we are back. I'm really sorry about this.
Oh my God. No, my Wi-Fi is so bad. And yeah, I'm so sorry about this. Sorry,
No, no,
everyone.
it's my fault. My connection went bad and I now switched to data. So we're all good. So really welcome
Yeah,
you. And lots of
thanks
your
for
fans are
the
already
data.
here with you. So I know you through your works per se, but that's the first time I'm meeting you. So
Yeah,
hi, welcome to Kashish Live Chats.
thank you.
And you're so pretty. Even today, yeah, on screen, of course, you're always pretty, but today also you're pretty. How
Thank
are you
you.
coping with the pandemic per se?
Well, feeling extremely grateful and praying every day. I think we have to, I haven't done this for a while and I haven't even, gone online to do anything else but to just, do the SOS messages, etc. Because I know everyone, irrespective of where you come from, is struggling right now, and there's so much, it's so grim overall, and there's just so much suffering. So just feeling extremely gutted because every day, like, last night actually, I had a realization the number of times I've written, I'm so sorry, because there's so much bad news. And yeah, so I think it's very strange, honestly, to do this at a time like this. But I also understand that sometimes we need to take our minds off and probably talk about, films and watch something, and so uh, just as a relief and a release, so yeah, so thank you for doing this. And I've been, in a way, I got to know about Kashish a few years ago, couple of years ago, and it was, and anybody who does work at the LGBTQIA sector, I think are very, very special people, and we need more people like you. So thank you for doing this and do for everything you do, actually.
Thank you. We actually are going to be celebrating our 12th edition of Kashish. We started in 2009, 2010, and we have been doing it every year. Usually we do it at Liberty Cinema, but last year it was online, and this year also it's going to be online. It's going to happen in August 19th to September 5th. So all of you, I'll invite you, send you an invite to watch the films. But let's talk about Margarita With A Straw, because that's the most beautiful gay character, lesbian character you have portrayed ever. So how did it come into you all? How did the role come to you? Did Shodali Bose approach you? How did it all happen?
No, actually, I've spoken about this so much, but so I got an audition call when I was, generally this was like, I think my second year or third year in Bombay, or second year maybe, and I was actually, it was 2012, yeah, and I was doing a travel show with Saeed Mirza. So when I got the call, I remember that we were getting into a hotel in Mandawa in Rajasthan, and Nilesh Maniyar had called me, who's a casting director, co-director, producer. So, and I was for the first time, I was telling someone that I don't have time. So I was like, no, I'm very busy. Sorry, I'm not there to audition. And as luck would have it, I came back from that same shoot 4 months down the line, because it was, or 5 months down the line. And the day I reached Bombay, the next morning I woke up with another call saying, are you here now because we still haven't found anyone. And they had auditioned literally like so many people, like everyone I knew had auditioned for the part almost, and they had seen people from Pakistan and, like a lot of actors and even New York. So yeah, I think वही दाने दाने पे लिखा है खाने वाले का नाम. So I'm glad I got it, and I think it was a very special film to, almost it was my first big release, and yeah, very, very thankful. Yeah. Although, I mean, I worked really hard and I worked they auditioned me for a month after that, and I gave it all I had, honestly. And I had worked so hard that, at that point I was like, even if I don't get the part, it's fine because I have literally given everything. So there's not a cell in my body that can do anything more with the time I've had. So it was, and the moment, I realized it so early that the moment you let go of something, it comes to you, and that's when I got the call from Sonali and she said, can I speak to my Khanum? And I knew, I was like, so, yeah.
So was it tough? I mean, you play two different characters in the sense that you play a blind girl and also a lesbian girl. So, I mean, it's a very complicated role. I mean, same with Kalki also. She plays a person with a disability and also a bisexual woman. So, there are two different characteristics mixed into one role. So, was it very challenging for you to navigate? How do you kind of bring about these two different characteristics? No?
Actually the homosexuality part, and I was told right at the beginning by quite a few people that don't do the part because your career would be over before it started. And I couldn't realize, I didn't understand what they were saying. I was like, what's the big deal, And because I knew I had seen Ammu back in college, where Shonali had come with Ammu, and I loved Ammu, okay? And I knew she's extremely sensitive and she's solid, her grounding is solid. And the script itself was so beautifully written that I knew it was in good hands. It's not somebody who doesn't have the understanding or the maturity or sensitivity to tell the story. So, so the homosexual part wasn't actually something that I was even overthinking about. The tricky part was the disability, and that was the most difficult part. So once that was in control in terms of craft, the rest of it fell into place. And also, I lucked out because, I had the wonderful Kalki, and she's outstanding. She's not just outstanding as an actor and as Laila in the film, but she's an outstanding human being, So we really, I remember the first ever reading that we were having at Kalki's house, the first time we ever met. It was just Kalki, Shonali and me. And it was a table read. And I remember Kalki was sitting opposite me, Shonali was on my right. And one of the scenes, which is a, high drama scene, we all three were crying. And Shonali was like, I can't believe you girls are meeting for the first time. So it was like this, and then Revati, I think we just left out, I think some films are blessed. And Margarita was a blessed film. Also in hindsight more now, now that like probably 9 years have gone by, I'm still so proud of it.
But like one of the things which stood out, of course, I'm just going to talk about your performance also. But one thing which stood out for me was the accessories you wore, the earrings, the beautiful hand rings, the bracelets. So did you accessorize, or was the costume designer? I mean, it was so beautiful. It gave you a character, all the accessories which was part of your costuming,
Yeah, actually a lot of the props I had picked up myself, because when I started so when I got the part, these guys had already moved to Delhi for pre-prod. So there was literally nobody in Bombay to do those things with me. So I enrolled myself in blind school and all of those things. So I actually went to the blind school. I got the props, like I still have them, the cane, the ball, braille, playing cards, and we've incorporated all the props that I had picked up. And they rewrote some of this, not rewrote, but incorporated, in the scenes, and we used it as business. And the accessories, I remember I had put like the same earring that I had, like onto like both the same piercings. And apart from that, I think it was all the costume department, and Niharika had done the costume, but we had Maria on set, who was wonderful. And yeah, it was actually bizarre things were happening. My shirt, that was a continuity shirt, got stolen. Just one shirt got stolen from the Peti. And it was in continuity. And I think they cut out shirt pieces and like stitched it again or something like that. So many unfortunate things were happening, but I think we took control. So yeah, it was, I think also we had a different costume director, a designer in New York. So it was a completely different team. So that girl, I'm forgetting her name, but she brought in a lot of these. And she used to stay in Brooklyn. So she had a lot of these the hipster clothes that she got, and it was really good for the character.
So that was beautiful. And also, like, one of my favorite scenes, of course, there are many favorite scenes, but one of my favorite scenes is when you go to the museum and you touch that particular stone, and then you start touching Laila, that is such a beautiful moment. And for Laila also, it's the first touch ever. She's never been touched like that by any person, not necessarily by a woman, but never by a man ever. And that moment stays in with me totally. Like, how did you manage to capture that moment?
That scene actually is my most favorite scene that I have done in the film. And that moment, because we were shooting at the Metropolitan Museum, and they had actually cleared out many rooms for us, and the Met, I mean, every time I go there, it's just very overwhelming, but somehow they managed to create this very quiet moment, and sometimes in the quiet you find magic. And when we were playing, we had actually rehearsed the scene many times, like most scenes, but there was something in the moment, like when I started touching. And also I feel when you let go, and of course people who have all sensories working, sometimes we take things for granted, right? Most times probably. And what I learned because I had not really opened my eyes, or I used to stay like that for many hours and a few days. So the moment you go in that, and you're not completely dependent on your visual senses, your other sensories become even more sensitized, and something happened, because I wasn't, I couldn't actually see anything even with eyes open, because I used to do something like this, so it's all blurry, right? So then once I started touching the mummy, the engraved things, and then went on to Kalki. It was just magical while we were doing it. And I think the good thing is that it came out on screen, in whatever little way.
And how complicated was the sexual scenes per se? I mean, it's one of the most intimate, beautifully intimate scenes I've ever seen on. Just before 4 more shots happened, of course. Margarita With A Straw was a forerunner many years ago. But how challenging was it for you to be doing this particular sexually intimate scene with another woman, or was it just two characters playing a certain scene together?
No, honestly, the first time I had to actually kiss Kalki in a rehearsal, because Adil Hussain was doing that with us in Delhi, and he's wonderful. And he had worked with Kalki for a few days before we started all working together. And the first time I actually had to kiss Kalki in a rehearsal, because I was the person who was kissing a girl, so part of me was like, before that moment, it was like, oh, and I had to initiate, right? Because my character is the one who's going for it, and I'm almost seducing her, and I was a little like, okay, and I was trying to elongate that moment till the kiss happens. I was like, let me just do the foreplay first. But once it happened, it's almost like, you go in and then it's the same. Once it happened, it was literally like, I was like, oh, it's just this, and I think we tend to think too much about things we don't understand or we haven't, it's human nature. But post that, we were so in sync, and we were so comfortable with each other, so much so that Shrinali would have to tell us on in the scenes that, okay, girls, stop kissing, because every romance, like every other scene, we would like start kissing, you know. So I was like, okay, I'm not again, girls, you know. So it was really funny. Although the sex scene where I bring her home, etc. That first take, because Sonali took a really long take till the card ran out, and it was a circular track, actually half a circular track, and the, it was a locked set anyway, and the only guy inside was the grip person, but it was really traumatic in a way because she wasn't cutting it, you know, so we had to go on and on and on. And after a point, I ran out of things to do. I was like, boss, the only thing left to do is, just really do it. So that became a little tricky. And I think Kalki, because she was in a position where she couldn't be so much of an active person, and she was actually under, right? So it became a little more uncomfortable for her than it was for me, and I felt extremely guilty. But because we had spoken so much and we had workshopped extensively, and Shirali said that I wanted one take. I didn't tell you guys, but I wanted a take to see what all comes up. So we were like, oh my God, don't make us do this. But it was not a good thing, but one of the things that happened was both Kalki and I did the sex scene and we both hugged. We were like, "Behan ye hamare liye nahi hai." We are, unfortunately for us, we are extremely straight. At this age, you realize, maybe it would have been in better hands if you were not. And because
But did it help you that like Sonali was a female filmmaker? Did it help you in your characterization with your everything, per se, having a very sensible, sensitive female filmmaker instead of a male filmmaker?
Oh, yeah. I don't think a man, I don't know, but I can't think of any man in our country, at least in a director who can pull off something like this. And it's not, of course it's Shonali and her eyes, but it was also Anne Misao, who is the DOP of the film. She's Japanese from Hawaii and an absolutely gorgeous human being. It was her eyes also, it's how Anne saw it. So it was not, so it was actually, except for Nilesh, we were all women. So of course, Kalki, Revati and I, and Shonali, the DOP, and Monisha Baldawa, who's the editor, and of course Russell is the sound later. So we were, women dominated set also. So yeah, it all makes a huge difference, yeah.
So a lot of people are asking about your 4 more shots. Is there a season 3 coming up? So people are asking that already,
Yeah, we are really, it's very sweet, but we are, what to do now? We started shoot and now everything is shut again. So we are also waiting. Last night I was talking to the girls and Prokita, was the producer. And we literally are dying to go back on set, but it's just not the right time right now. So we're all waiting. Yeah.
And you play a completely diametrically opposite character in Article 15 of a tribal girl, So how different was that experience of playing it real and playing a tribal girl? You keep switching your looks and your character so beautifully, How does it come to you? You studied film, you studied acting, right, in FTI?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, the thing is, I keep saying this because, a lot of people ask me, but I get very bored very easily. So I have to keep doing different things, because also, as an actor, if I'm doing a certain kind of a part, I have not, in my knowledge, I haven't left any stone unturned in terms of exploration as an actor for that part, So I really do deep dive and, try to like excavate things really. And that process is very, it's extremely engaging. But it's also, that's what keeps us going, It's literally like oxygen. Oxygen is probably the wrong thing to use right now, but fodder, But if you've done that for one part, then it's very annoying to do it the same thing again for another part. You know what I'm saying? So I have to keep switching and I have to keep exploring a completely different world. So hence the character. So it's not interesting to me to play another, say, lesbian part or a blind girl's part or, maybe a Dalit. Like I actually had gotten a part of playing a Dalit and it was, the protagonist. And I told them, I was like, listen, I don't know what to do because it's an interesting script and I would want to tell the story, but I don't know if I can bring anything new. And certain times you feel that the filmmaker has told a certain kind of story to the best of the ability, like you can't tell a better story than this perhaps, and you get that feel. You don't get that feeling from every filmmaker, but Touchwood I've been extremely lucky with the directors I work with. So that's also there. I was like, I can't water it down kind of thing. So yeah.
So somebody's asking you here a question. How was your experience playing an analyst in Inside Edge, a very male-oriented series about cricket and politics, yet your character stood out strong?
It's actually one of my most favorite characters. I love Rohini. I love being her. And again, I think it's a gift that Karan Anshuman gave me and Kasif from Excel gave me. I'm so grateful to them because it was one of the first parts that I didn't have to audition for. They just literally wanted me and I was like, okay, great. And I love her and how she is. She's just cool, she's just extremely cool and funky and she knows her shit and she doesn't boss around, but she is a boss, so, and everyone's like, she's a little tiny little girl, like really young, probably the youngest out of the lot, but, everyone takes her really seriously, so she's such a nerd that I love her, I love playing her. And season 3 is going to come out soon, I'm waiting for everyone to see season 3.
So what's your next project look like? What are you working? I mean, what is already ready right now?
So I have a couple of films that are ready, which are in post-production, but they're all waiting. And hopefully we'll do the festival circuit and, come out, etc. I also have right now in terms of shooting, we're all stuck. I have a few projects, but we don't know when what will start and everyone will start fighting about dates very soon. So, yeah. And I think Inside It is the next release that I guess, nobody knows anything right now, actually.
Right. So, Rohini is saying, you're awesome in Paglite. And so you're rocking in that. That's what she has said. So, how was the experience of playing the particular character in Paglite?
Actually, again, Paglate I did because Guneet Munga, who's a friend, she asked me to do it, and I can't say no to Guneet. And I was like, okay, great. And the character was, it's a small part, but it's a catalyst. It comes, it's a special appearance part, but she has a very specific thing that she does. And I love the way Umesh Bish, who was the director, he had written the character, and between Sandhya, that Sanya plays, and Akanksha, it's these two women who, in most things that you've seen, would have been pitted against each other, but they're not. And you are able to find friendship when you're looking for it or not looking for it. But, that understanding is in spite of the first reaction that you might have for a human being, and that deep sense of inspiration that you gather, looking at the other person. So all those things, right? And it was such a beautiful script also. What a fantastic ensemble.
I know.
Like, in a film where these actors are there, you're asking me to do it, I would be more than happy to just, even when I saw the poster for the first time, there was Raghuveer Yadav on one side, and I was like, and Shiva, and I was like, oh my, and Ashutosh Rana, and such stunning actors, and I'm like, I'm so fortunate to be just in the midst of this, this crowd, so talented. So yeah, very grateful.
So, did you kind of want one particular part which you didn't get, any part in any film which you auditioned for or something? I don't know whether you want to reveal it or not. You don't have to reveal it, but or just a hint of it,
so many. In fact, if there's a joke I used to tell Radhika as to so many times it's happened. I've auditioned for it and she's doing it, okay, and it's almost like final two when of course she's gonna get it and. I said, tell her, listen, you tell me if you're doing a part, I will not even go for the audition because I take auditions very seriously, So there's so many, of course. I keep auditioning. Yesterday I auditioned for something. So yeah, I keep auditioning for so many parts you don't get. But honestly, I have always felt that if something doesn't work out, it's for the better. Because I feel there are better things at play or things that are better for you. And I feel if something's destined to happen, it'll happen. There's no point overthinking about anything. And right now, you realize that life is so uncertain, more than ever before.
That's right.
That just whatever, be grateful for whatever is on your platter, do that well, and digest that, and there are other things to life, not just that. So yeah.
So Rohini is asking, basically she said, do you think the writing in Indian cinema and web series has evolved nowadays to include more LGBTQ characters or roles for LGBTQ people? Has it evolved? That's what she's asking.
Of course, yes. But so I'm a little torn because sometimes you see a lot of portrayals that are so cringy, and with OTT, there's the amazing part is there's so much content and a lot more people can make content, and of course there's a lot of talent out there. There's so much potential, but also there's a lot of volume of things, and sometimes you need to sort of do your screening and see what suits your taste. But so yeah, I mean, not all. There is more scope, of course, and because there's no censorship yet, although there's always this looming thing of censor. But having said that, most of the LGBTQIA things I've seen trailers of, or I've seen parts of on OTT have been slightly disappointing, to be extremely honest. So I think we need to also understand, that there's this thing about women writing women parts, right? I also feel that we need to give more people from the community, LGBTQI community, to tell their stories, because that perspective is completely different, And yeah, I mean, how can a straight person see it from the other perspective? It's not possible. I can't, from about everything, the kind of upbringing, the kind of conditioning I have had, I can't suddenly go and write a story about one small village in Karnataka. I will not understand, So I think everyone's trying to do these things because it sells in a way. But I feel that we need more representation in writing and in direction, and not just in the characters. Because the characters will be stereotypes unless there is originality and authenticity in the writing and direction.
Okay, brilliant. I think that's very well said. We need more LGBTQ writers, directors to come out and be open and write great stories for films and series. There's a question here. How do you explain your capacity to steal scenes like in Article 15? And even though your roles are small, but the impact you create is large, is it something you think about when accepting a role? That how big is your part in the film? That's what he's trying to ask you.
Yeah, sometimes I do, but it's not about the length. It's about what potential the character has. So, in Jolly, for example, I have said no to the film thrice, in fact, Jolly LB2, because I thought it would be a smaller part, and I didn't want to do a smaller part. But once I read the script, and Manav called literally scolded me, and he's like, just read the part first because it's brilliant. So when I read the scenes, there were only 6, 7 scenes, but they were my scenes. They could be anybody in front of me, it didn't matter. So there was potential in those scenes. So I don't think the length matters, because some people are there throughout the scene. So many, especially the heroic parts, in Bollywood. What are they doing? They're doing nothing. There are 3 songs and 5 lines. What are they doing? They have no impact, right? They don't have a graph. It's the same over and over rehash of things. So I'd rather do the smaller impactful parts than a part which is through the film, but is almost shadowing somebody else, doesn't have meat. So yeah, and it's a very instinctive thing, yeah. It's that's how I my roles, and I believe that it's the actor who's big or small. There's no part which is big or small because it's not the length. If you see in Moonlight, Mahershala Ali had won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and he had 3 scenes. It doesn't matter. How many things did Gabbar have in Sholay? So,
Yeah.
but he's iconic because he made that. So if you put a good actor I'm not saying a good actor, but we're saying a decent enough actor in a small part, you're able to make it good.
ओके हिंदी में बात करने के लिए बहुत सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि हिंदी में बात करना है. मेरी हिंदी बहुत ही खराब है, बट आप हिंदी में बात कर सकते हैं. मैं इंग्लिश सॉरी इसलिए मैं इंग्लिश में बात करता हूँ. एक बात पूछ रहे थे काफी लोग कि आप मेथड एक्टिंग में बिलीव करते हैं कि आप बेसिकली लोगों को ऑब्जर्व करके आपका पार्ट्स टेलर करते हैं, मेथड एक्टिंग में बिलीव करते हैं. ये काफी सवाल आए हैं यहाँ पे.
यार मैंने ना ये लास्ट ईयर पैंडेमिक के दौरान, लॉकडाउन के दौरान मैंने 2 मास्टर क्लासेस की थी. एक सेशन था मामी जो मुंबई फिल्म फेस्टिवल है, डायल फॉर फिल्म्स, उसमें, और मैंने बम्बल और इन कोलैबोरेशन विद इंडियन फिल्म प्रोजेक्ट IFP, I had done a 2-hour, separate 1 hour and 2-hour master classes where I talk about my process, and it's not, it's a very weird thing to say, oh, do you observe or do you method?
हिंदी में.
हाँ, तो वही ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि आप मेथड एक्टिंग करते और आप ऑब्जर्व, मतलब ये अलग अलग चीज नहीं है. सब कुछ मेथड का ही पार्ट है और सब कुछ आपका अपना प्रोसेस है, और आपको पता है किस चीज में कौन सा प्रोसेस आप लगाते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स प्रोसेस है, प्रोसेस के बिना नहीं होता है काम. होता है मतलब हमें नहीं आता है. पर कभी कभी ये भी है कि बहुत ज्यादा सोचना नहीं पड़ता है. कुछ कुछ रोल के लिए आपको बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करना पड़ता है. आपको जैसे मार्गरीटा के बारे में बात करते हैं हम, उसमें बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि फिजिकलिटी भी काफी सारा है, कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी भी ज्यादा है. पर कुछ चीजों के लिए आपको कुछ नहीं करना होता है. आपको बस लाइनें बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ना होता है, स्क्रिप्ट पढ़नी होती है, लाइन्स रिहर्स करना होता है, और आप जाके आप कर देते हैं. इतना सोचना नहीं पड़ता है. कुछ चीजें बहुत आसान होता है, कुछ चीजें उतना बहुत आसान नहीं होता है. तो वही, वो डिपेंड करता है कैरेक्टर टू कैरेक्टर.
और फिल्मों में और वेब सीरीज में क्या अंतर है आपके लिए, क्या फर्क है दोनों के बीच में? कोई भी मीडियम हो, आप वही काम करेंगे जो आप हमेशा करते हैं.
हाँ, वही है. मतलब सिर्फ टाइम ज्यादा लगता है और आपको इमोशनल कंटिन्यूटी आपको याद रखना पड़ता है. ऑब्वियसली फिजिकल कंटिन्यूटी तो है ही, क्योंकि आप एक एपिसोड का सेकंड सीन आप आज करेंगे और थर्ड सीन आप 4 महीना बाद करेंगे, तो मतलब आपको याद रखना पड़ेगा ऐसा कहाँ से क्या किया था. वो सब ग्राफ आपको याद रखना पड़ता है. बट अदरवाइज कोई फर्क नहीं है, क्योंकि आप एक्टिंग तो उतना ही कर रहे हैं.
So there's a thing. Can you talk a bit about what went on in your head in the scene in Margarita when you leave Kalki after you find out about her transgression? It was amazing to watch. After she reveals that she had sex with a guy, what went on in your head,
Dude, that scene killed me. Killed me, because we had rehearsed the scene over and over and over and over and over again, some 60 times, before we started shooting. Or by the time we were in the little balcony, actually doing the scene, मेरे दिमाग में ऑलरेडी बैठ गया था मैं कैसे लाइन बोलूंगी, किस ढंग से बोलूंगी, कहाँ पे पॉज लूंगी. मतलब एकदम मैकेनिकल हो गया था, और इट वाज डेथ. ओके, आई वाज लाइक, भाई अब तो मतलब मेरे कान में इट वाज रिंगिंग ऑलमोस्ट कि मेरा नेक्स्ट लाइन किस सुर में आएगा. और ऑब्वियसली तब तो एक्सपीरियंस भी थोड़ा कम था ना, मतलब क्योंकि आप जितना काम करते हैं आपको उतना कंट्रोल आता है क्राफ्ट में. तो आज जितना मुझे समझ अपने क्राफ्ट के बारे में समझ है, तब उतना नहीं था. हाँ, पर इतना नहीं था. तो the only time I felt stuck was in that scene. And फिर हो गया वो scene. And then Shonali decided to rewrite the scene and extend the scene. She was like, नहीं ये बहुत छोटा हो गया scene, अभी इसको और बड़ा करेंगे. फिर हमने वो एक टेरेस वाला scene है वो कर रहे थे, और वो भैया, I swear it was probably the most difficult moment of my acting career, because वो आ ही नहीं रहा था. मतलब वो रोना आ ही नहीं रहा था. एंड आई थिंक मेरा उससे पहले 1 साल पहले ब्रेकअप हुआ था, कि मतलब कुछ महीने पहले ऐसा कुछ. तो सोनाली आके बोल रही है, उसके बारे में सोच, उसके बारे में सोच, कितना दुख दिया था उसने." तो बहुत कोशिश किया उसके बारे में सोचने का, पर मैं आई हैड हील्ड फ्रॉम इनसाइड, सो आई वाज लाइक बिल्कुल गुस्सा नहीं आ रहा उससे भी, मतलब. सो आई रियली स्ट्रगल्ड विद दैट सीन. हाँ, by the way, it came out okay, but I actually cringed. Every time I've seen Margarita, I've cringed in that tennis scene.
Okay, are you an actress who goes and watches the monitor after every shot?
No, I don't, and I feel actors are only looking at how they're looking at the monitor. Sometimes you have to, and sometimes I do, depending on which set I'm on, because कि बाल मतलब ऐसे भी होंगे तो कोई नहीं देख रहा होगा, वैसे भी सेट होता है, and it's not like a bad set, but sometimes people overlook certain things. But in most sets, people are there to look. So I don't like looking at the monitor. In Margarita, so we were not allowed to see even like one peek. ऐसे मतलब कवर करके रखते थे, कुछ नहीं देखा था हमने स्ट्रेट देखा डबिंग पे कि भाई ये तो मतलब मौत है इसके बाद. Yeah, but sometimes like the direct, sometimes for continuity you watch the monitor, so that kind. I'm not obsessed with the monitor. I hate people like scene खत्म नहीं हुआ, shot खत्म नहीं हुआ, खत्म करते ही दौड़ते monitor में. खुद को पता होता है क्या किया है. I know what I've done in the scene. I don't need to see the monitor.
Yeah, I mean, I just generally ask that question basically because a lot of actors are basically do not trust the director. Some actors trust the directors so implicitly that they don't want to see anything which has been shot. If the director says okay, it's okay, kind of thing. Yeah.
You're
So
right.
just taking you back to Margarita With A Straw, any one incident which was so funny that you still remember, while shooting, while shooting.
Yeah, funny and painful. We were shooting that in New York. We were shooting for
The Morcha, the protest.
Yeah. And we were shooting in June. It was so hot. Okay, it was a really sunny day. And for some godforsaken reason, they had put us in like some 4 or 5 layers of thick woolen. Okay, and I was wearing like one sweater, then one high neck on top of that, and one other sweater, then full woolen like overcoat and like mittens and boots, and it was horrific. And both Kalki and I, and it was a lot of energy in the crowds and everything. So Kalki and I, after giving the shot, because we were like there was water inside, okay, because we were just sweating profusely. और उसके बाद कल्कि बाहर नहीं आती थी कैरेक्टर के, वो ऐसे ही रहती थी. I'm sorry, no disrespect meant to people who are actually paraplegic, but she was so comical because she was like, and she wouldn't stop talking. Okay, so I remember one time I am lying flat on the pavement like that because I can't move. Okay, and some of the junior artists, and she's chatting as Laila. She's dying inside, okay, sweating, but she's like, oh, okay, what do you want to film? Have you watched? And just with hands, and and I was like, can you stop it? Like, how much let me talk. Let me chat up. And I was like, how much did you chat people up? So it was really funny when it happened. Like, I was like, actually, while we were filming in Delhi, we used to go out a lot, okay, to drink and stuff. Actually, not right before. So, every time for a while, we both used to spend a lot of time off set also. And I mean, all the time actually. We were all together throughout. So sometimes Kalki would do the most, Kalki and me both. Sometimes I'm talking to you, for example, sitting across, and suddenly my eyes would become like that, okay, suddenly. It would just become like that. And Kalki, I've caught her so many times. Suddenly she's taking a glass of water, suddenly her hand will go like that. And it looked so wrong because we don't want to be obviously politically incorrect, whatever, but it was so funny because we were like, what is wrong with us? We've just been damaged in a way. It took both of us a while to come out of it because I think we've gotten in, for a while. So yeah, it was really funny. But we had a really good time, all of us.
So great. So basically, like if you want to watch Margarita with a Straw, it's still running on Netflix. So please go and watch Margarita with a Straw to learn about everything we've been speaking till now. Of course, like I mean, if you watched it, of course, congratulate Sayani. So really, thanks a lot, Sayani, for making time. We can go on and on, of course, but I think
Yeah.
we have run out of time per se. People are saying
Yes.
you're an epic in Jolly LLP and Article 15. Lots of people have been congratulating you. If you could be any superhero, regardless of Marvel, uh, so which would that be? If you want to play a superhero, which would that be? That's what one of the questions is.
Play superhero.
Are you into the genre at all or not?
Yeah, I mean, I should really like Batman, but it has to be a woman for me. And um, I think Wonder Woman, yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, Gal is like an insanely stunning depiction of Wonder Woman. But yeah, Wonder Woman um, must be. I can't think of any superhero as of now. I'm just thinking Indian ones, but I don't know any. But if I had a superpower, I know what I would do, but not as a superhero.
Okay, if you want to give one message to all your fans out there, what would be that message?
First of all, stay safe and please wear a double mask. Um, Wear an N95 because this whatever variant is not going to the cloth masks just by themselves are not going to save you, and just take care of yourself and people around you, and I think we have gone through and we are going through such a horrific time, but it's so heartening to see people come out and help each other, and it's incredible, talking about superheroes. I think people are superheroes right now, and of course the doctors and nurses, but just people, there's so much love and generosity and just humanity. I just wish the leaders had even an iota of what people are showing right now, and incredible. So please just keep helping and take care of yourselves, and please be safe, all of you, and thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here.
Thanks a lot for joining in, Sayani, today at the Kashish Live Chats. So please follow Kashish Film Fest to keep updated about more Kashish Live Chats. We're going to be talking to more people, actors, and people from the LGBTQ community also. So thanks a lot, Sayani. Really happy to have you with us. Best of luck with all your future work. We are dying to see what you're going to do next. So bless you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. It was lovely speaking to you, but also my name is Sayani.
Sayani, that's right. Yeah, that's I know. I read about it. I have taken care of that. Sayani, that's right. Sayani Gupta, that's right. Sorry about that. My pronunciation. Apologies for that. Okay, bye, Sayani. Take care of yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and Kashish and Rohini, lots of love. Stay safe. Bye.